All right, so today is load-in day. We are here at Baily Winery. This is where we normally have all of our plays in the summertime. This is our summertime main stage. But right now we're getting ready to load into Carol's restaurant. I wanted to show you this because previously I was showing you how I was building a platform as a landing for this job and that it was made out of lightweight materials. This is what normally our platforms are. Come around here so you can see that. These are 2x6s. And this is 3/4 inch plywood. Remember I was saying that we have a minimum of 24 inches with 3/4 inch plywood at the top. 24 inches between 2x6, I'll call them joists. So here we have the beams, the joists, and then these are the pillars, or the feet, the piers. In this case, we have them already set for the height that we're going to be using all the time inside Carol's restaurant. But now it's just up to us, Dylan, who's holding the camera, and myself, to get these into Carol's restaurant all the way across this parking lot. Once we get these things in and one more platform that I have inside the tiring house, we'll start recording from the inside and you'll see us put the set together.
Even though it's a small set, it took a little while to bring everything in. There were other pieces that we already had out at that tiring house that I showed you just now. So we didn't have to deliver them, but we still had to bring them in. And then Wendy, who you just saw there, she's heading out to get some more set pieces, and Dylan went with her. That left me time to start fiddling with the landings and the stairs. I'm right now attaching the downstage stairs, and I didn't center it. And there's a reason for that too, because I might have to move those stairs one way or another based on how the actors are able to handle a short or narrow landing with the 24-inch door that they're going to be working with. And I might have to move it downstage a little bit so that they have more room downstage, so that when they stand in front of the door and it closes, it doesn't actually, smack up against them. Having found the correct position for the landing, I start putting in the doorway. Of course, with only me there, I had to screw things in, check the flush on the front side. Once I was satisfied with that, square it up, clamp it together, and screw it together through the cross members so that it doesn't poke any actor. And give some consideration to the necessary changes in my design because of an inaccurate remembrance of the dimensions of the musician's stage.
For the most part, 45-degree angle helps keep everything nice and secure right here. As the door swings open and closed, however, these things will still tend to rock. So I'm going to have to put in I call it a flat jack, but it's really a triangle brace that fits into the floor. But I still have to also attach this down to the floor down there. That'll help stop it moving and keep it from racking. But the next step is then to bring in that piece that I had here, that oddly shaped piece that fits right here up against this crown molding. And that's the unusual side. Then I have to cut out of some plywood that I have over here the spacer that goes up against that crown molding. It's only going to go up to it, because past it, not that important. But up to it, fine.
Which should be a lesson to me. Always measure, even when it's a space you're familiar with, always measure so that you can avoid these kinds of last-minute changes. And here's the problem that I had to deal with. In my drawing, I had the landing and the doorways butting up right up against that flat. Unfortunately, we had a 10-foot high flat. It's a very old flat. Take that apart, thin it down. I wish that I had brought more extra of the 3/16-inch plywood, but we only have this 1/8-inch Luan. It shows up in the final product. I cut down the cross members, as you've seen me many times before, and screwed the new flat together. This is a masking flat more than a structural flat, so I wasn't too worried about it racking. I wanted it, in fact, to mold itself in a way to the variances of the stage and the variances of the landing, so that the vertical lines would remain straight, even if the horizontal lines were a little off. it was going to be covered up by baseboard and trim anyways. Decided it was going to stop recording. It doesn't give me a warning about why it stops, it just stops. So I'm showing you some footage from the day before where I cut some crown molding that I had already attached to 1x4s to fit the 45-degree angle of the downstage flats. That one I set the crown molding on its back, basically on its 1x4 section, and cut it. That was easy in a miter box that I jury-rigged. And I took an angle from that piece, set it into another 1x4, so that the other piece of crown molding will fit nicely into it. And then in order to cut this one, I had to cut it basically standing up. So I put a ledger in my miter box, set so that the bottom of the crown molding will butt up against that ledger, kept everything level, and cut that off at 22.5 degrees. It worked out beautifully. And by the time I discovered the camera had stopped working, the night had fallen, there wasn't a lot of lighting inside. So here's the set so far in grainy, brightened video. I'm sorry about that. And also the rest of the venue, which we are using as part of the acting space. Please comment or subscribe if you like, and hit the like button if you like it too. These are the previous videos in this series. Feel free to go back and enjoy them. And as always, thank you for watching.